Hey everyone, I'm sat here at I-57 with Penny, who unfortunately is now eliminated from the Hearthstone tournament, but this is your, I think your second major tournament, but certainly one where you've made a lot of waves, and you've beaten an awful lot of big names en route to getting here. A lot of the pro players were talking about you backstage in the player area as well when I was getting set up. Talk to me about how your tournament run went, and if you have any particularly memorable matchups.
Yeah, so I started out quite slow. I meted someone who wasn't known, and then I moved on to facing Powder, and I went 3-1, which was quite, I was really happy about that. And then I moved on playing Elky, where I 3-0'd him. Met Ties, where unfortunately went 2-3. So yeah, he just beat me, but yeah. And then, then I went on to the top 16. I was so happy. I went 6-1 in the Swiss stages. Yeah. So that was a bit beyond my expectations, because it's my second competition and I didn't think I was going to beat all these big names. And then in the top 16 I was in Group D with Tae, 6-0 and Hevian. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. And I was against Tae to start with, and he 3-0'd me with Sue. Not so good. And then I met 6-0 in the second game, and he beat me twice with Sue, and then I lost. Then I won one, and I lost the last game. So I went 3-1 against him. But I mean, overall, I'm pretty proud of myself for getting this far, and I've gained so much experience. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic run through the tournament, and a lot of people were noticing you as well.
Yeah.
Talk us through. I think there were only 2 girls in the tournament, actually. What's the deal there? Do you think there are going to be more female players in Hearthstone tournaments in the future? I mean, there's absolutely no difference at all between the sexes. But why do you have an opinion on why there are fewer girls sort of playing Hearthstone?
I mean, I obviously think it's a shame there's no more girls. I haven't really I haven't figured out why it is, like why there's no more girls. I assume a lot of girls play it casually, and maybe they're afraid to take the step into the competitive scene, where I would say, go for it. You can see how far I got, and this was like beyond my expectations. So yeah, I mean, go for it if you're a girl. We need more girls, pretty much. Yeah.
And were there any players in particular that you were really sort of looking up to, if you like? Are there any players that you watch all the time, and then you come here and you've met them in person, or have you even beaten any of them? Like, talk to us about what it was like to actually come here to this tournament and not just meet these guys, but play against them as well.
Yeah. When I saw the lineup for how many pros were coming, I was like, oh my god, it's so stacked, all these pros, what am I going to do, right? Then I just thought, I can take one game at a time, and then I saw all these pro players dropping games, winning games, so it was like everything's possible. What was the question?
Were there any of these pro players in particular that you were looking up to before coming here?
Ties is probably the person I look up to the most.
And that was pretty close, wasn't it?
And that was like twice I played against him, so that was really awesome to play against him. I also look up to Dog. I really think he's an amazing rogue and control warrior player, so I've watched some of his stream, and I was looking forward to maybe facing him, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But overall, all the pros have something they're really good at, and yeah, it's just really cool to see them in real life as well.
Do you think Tyson Dog are the 2 people most likely to go to the finals? And if your answer is yes, do you have a dark horse for who might beat one of them?
Yes, I think it is going to be Ties versus Dog, but I also think that, let me think, who else? I think Soleil has a good chance. He brought an interesting rogue, and I think he's playing pretty solid right now, yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the decks in general. First of all, I guess as a precursor to that, what decks did you bring to the tournament, and how well do you think they did? But also, based on what you've seen from the other players in the tournament so far, what are your thoughts on the kind of decks that were brought here and the meta that's going down at the moment?
Yeah, so I watched the winter preliminaries, I think, the America and then the EU one, and I was looking at all the decks, and I thought, okay, well, how am I going to counter these really popular decks? Because I just don't like playing Secret Paladin, and I don't like playing Sue. I'm more control style. So I talked to my friend Tae Kwon. He's a really good ladder player and he plays Reno Warrior. And I've played Reno Warrior in the past. I took it to DreamHack Winter, but it was a really bad meta call at that point. But here it fit really perfect. It was like a lot of people were going to bring Phase Shaman. So I decided this is going to be a really strong deck against specifically Phase Shaman. I brought an aggro Paladin, not Phase Paladin, it's more in the style of Su, where you control the board and then you build up and just hit the person for a lot of damage. So yeah, and then I brought Druid because, I mean, Druid is just strong. It's just no denying it. So I think overall, like my decks really beat nearly every deck in their own way. Right. But unfortunately, Su had some better draws than my Paladin did, and I wasn't really able to pull it back here at the end. Yeah, but the Reno Warrior was definitely one of the better picks that I chose to take here. Yeah.
What changes would you make, if any, knowing that you were, obviously with the hindsight that you had lost to Zoo quite a few times, would you have picked any different decks, or would you have played anything differently?
I might have not taken aggro Paladin and went for something that was more consistent, because aggro Paladin is often quite inconsistent if you don't draw specific things like Divine Favor, Consecration. So I might have changed that. Okay. But Druid and Reno Warrior, I'm really happy with how they performed. Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Penny the person away from Hearthstone. Where did you start coming into competitive Hearthstone? You're obviously extremely competitive yourself. Where did that background come from, and did you play any other esports before coming here to Hearthstone?
So from a very young age, I've always played in sports, but at the same time I played a lot of computer games, and I played a lot of Warcraft, and then I moved into World of Warcraft, and in Warlords I was in a really hardcore guild. I was in top 200, and that was really cool, but I decided to stop while I'm at a high, and decided to start playing more Hearthstone more seriously. But also as a child, as I said, I played a lot of sports. I got into Tae Kwon Do when I was 11. Okay. And ever since I got the 2nd degree black belt in Tae Kwon Do, and then I stopped, and I wanted to try something new, just like WoW, moving to Hearthstone. And I decided to start kickboxing, where I compete sometimes, maybe every second month. That's really cool. But yeah, just like the competitiveness in me, I am so competitive. It's crazy. But I understand how to take a loss, and I understand how to analyze, how to not beat yourself up about it. But for example, this competition, I mean, I lost to some crazy good players that have so much experience. I can't really be sad about that. And I just know next time I know what I can do better, what I can do differently. So yeah, just overall really competitive person, but I just love learning and developing as a person as well.
Well, that's really awesome, and it was great to see some of your games earlier, as well as seeing you upsetting some of the big names here in the tournament as well. Where can people find you if they want to see you play on stream, or if they want to follow you on social media?
I'm active on my Twitter, which is penny__HS. Okay. And on my Twitter you can find my Twitch, but it's also Penny just HS on Twitch. And I plan to stream, so make sure you follow me.
That's awesome. And before we close out, do you have any shout outs that you want to make to community, people that help you, anyone in general?
Yeah, just shout out to my friends who are here and supporting me, and everyone who approached me, and the pros players were quite nice and really helped me through the tournament as well, and to Tae Kwon, who helped me with the Arena Warrior, and just overall with deciding what to pick for each game. So yeah, thank you.
All right, yeah, thanks a lot for chatting, and I guess enjoy the rest of Insomnia 57. This is your first event, right? We're going to make sure you get to the pub quiz later tonight, and you'll get to walk around potentially like a zombie after drinking tonight. You never know, tomorrow. So yeah, thanks again, and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.